Good morning, traders. Welcome to Traps Trades, where we go over technical analysis, and today's stock ticker is going to be AMC, a stock that comes with so much love and so much hate. But today we're going to be going from the micro to the macro, because just like the name Traps Trades, a lot of these higher volatility and higher return stocks, you can get trapped. So none of this is financial advice. Do not listen to what I say or do. I am just a retail trader who likes to take risk. And so a lot of these technical analysis DD videos are going to be higher risk, higher return reward. So what I like on the micro, so I always start at the 4 hour. Personally, I like to capture that trend. For me, I found that works the best for my overall strategy. You do what works the best for you, but the 4 hours is how I like to start. You can see that AMC is actually in this kind of wedge formation from its breakout from about $2.88 up to $4. Strong breakout, really strong volume. And so it's created this wedge formation. And you're beginning to see the breakout of that wedge right around $3.40. And for me, what I looked at as a potential entry for a trade is the MACD on the 4 hour curling up and about to cross green. So oftentimes when you see the MACD cross green, that is, for me, that is my trigger to an entry. But let's go to the daily here. What you see on the daily is you see when you had that ramp up of volume here, you also left a daily gap. And so daily gaps, like 99.99% of the time, I've found usually get filled. And so what you saw AMC do is you saw a big pop up to this $4 resistance. You touch the 200 moving average and then you reject hard, almost bearish engulfing candle here. But you create this wedge pattern, and as you can see, the volume decreasing as you test that gap fill. I personally, that's what I look for. I like decreasing volume into gap fills. And so that's why I personally bought $1,000 shares of AMC right here at the pinnacle of this wedge. But beyond the gap fill, beyond the possible wedge breakout, what you see here is you see the 200 moving average and you see the 50-day moving average. And you're starting to see the 50 curl up. For me, that is tremendously bullish. You could possibly see if this uptrend holds. Let's use a little drawing tool. If this trend holds and you pop up here, maybe you see a reclaim of this flat resistance here. And then let's see, you see a pop and you hold $4. And then you start to see the 50 curl. Maybe flat line when you trade sideways. And then this 200 is curling. Maybe you see it break back down. And then you test it. And you test the daily golden cross. And then you just rip. And guys, the good thing about AMC on the daily is past $4, there ain't much. You got resistance about 550 in this previous top. Past 550, there ain't much. You got 7 from this previous resistance here, I believe, right here, about 750. There is not much holding this stock back. So if you can see GameStop, BlackBerry, if you could see these stocks, costs, these meme basket stocks start to rip like they did last year in May, you could really see AMC take off here and just do the dirty. It's going to be quite the experience and quite the ride. And I will say, looking back to last year, as I zoom out here, last year you had a monthly MACD cross around that shoot up. And so for me, the MACD is such a quintessential indicator of bullish reversal. And so I actually use this down here. I doubled down right as we were showing signs of crossing green. And for me, that gave me the opportunity to get out. Rode it all the way to $9 here. And so what you're seeing on the even bigger picture, on the quarterly chart, is you are possibly seeing a quarterly MACD cross, which would be the first time since 2021 or 2020, which is tremendous. And so for me, the way that I like to trade, I like to be short-term swings and I like to be long-term holding plays. For me, AMC, regardless of the fundamentals, regardless of the stigma, is a real possibility of a recovery play. They have multiple good things with debt reallocation and increase in volume of shares, increase in volume of ticket sales. They have a lot of blockbusters coming up. And so what I like to see from a charting side, I'm going to go back to the daily here. I like to see that they have all these volume gaps, all these price gaps right here. So I like to highlight them in gray so they don't take up an eyesore on the chart. But everything in gray, so $12.74, $19, and $43. Those are price gaps. And price typically returns to said price gaps. For me, those would be my price targets. I'm gap hunting. And so when you look at today's current evaluation of $3.38, that makes tremendous opportunity. And you look at GameStop, what they're doing with Bitcoin. You look at Ryan Cohen, and GameStop actually is in a much, much, much more bullish situation fundamentally. But even the chart, when you go to the quarterly, you have GameStop flirting with the quarterly MACD cross, which also was the first time since 2020. And so I don't think that it's coincidence that you see a lot of these fundamentals align in this meme basket before we start to see rate cuts, before the World Cup 2026. You're going to see a lot of people flood into the U.S. You're going to see a stronger economy, fingers crossed, knock on wood. And so for me, this is a longer term hold. But you even see on the monthly, GameStop is forming some kind of wedge or some kind of bullish triangle pattern here with the rising support and flat resistance. You had resistance back in 2022. You closed below it 2024, closed below it 2025, closed below it 2025. So you are seeing this flat resistance with an uptrend in support. Typically when you see that, you would take the measured move. Let's just do that. And then top of the breakout. Let's say we break out sometime late 2025. And that measured move is up to $120. Previous all-time high. For me, it's no coincidence. And so you can see these patterns. And you can take this opportunity to either average down or get in. But it is a serious potential. But nevertheless, that is my summary and update on AMC, GME, all those good stock tickers. Please make sure, like and subscribe, and keep the love, peace, and positivity in your heart. Have a wonderful day, guys. Goodbye.